everyone, welcome back to Studio 33 Art by Kay. What I've got here today is just two little 10 centimetre by 10 centimetre ceramic tiles, which is 4 inches by 4 inches. I've just bought some new cushion covers to put out in my outdoor patio area, and so I realised I really need to make some new coasters to go with those, which would be nice. Now, I'll put up a little picture just now. That's what the covers look like. So I couldn't work out what to do about the green. There seems to be lots of different greens in there. So I'm going to use 4 different greens, which are the Global Deep Green, Global Green Oxide, the Global Green Light, and also Mont Satin Hooker's Green. So they're just all paints that I've had made up on the shelf there for quite some time, probably over a year, mixed with Australian Floetrol, and they do stay good if they're in those sealed containers. And as for the blue, I looked on my shelf, couldn't find anything similar, but when I mixed the Global Metallic Cyan with the Eraldo Metallic Ocean Blue, I got this lovely blue colour that is very similar to the colour of the cushion covers. So close enough anyway. So that's what I did, is I mixed those together. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a reverse flower dip. So I'm laying paint down, getting the serviette, putting it on, lifting it off. But then I'm just going to modify slightly with a skewer, just to get some different pattern in there. Now for my base, I've just used the Eraldo white paint that has Australian Floetrol in it. I've also just added a little of the Pori Masters Gloss Medium to it, mainly because I've got heaps of that and I just wanted to use it up. So that will give the base a bit of a gloss to it. So yeah, I don't like wasting things like that. So without further ado, I shall lay down the white paint.
Nothing ever felt as good or as easy as when we were young. Oh, though I felt misunderstood, it was a pleasure running away with you. We were just children acting like a doll, crazy, naive, bold and carefree.
This one's nice and smooth and this one's not. Probably because I was playing with it. I just need to move these apart now a little bit more, so I've got room to do my lift. Okay, so I've just burst any bubbles that are on there with my heat embossing tool. And now for my greens. So I'm just going to run a little bit of paint into each corner, just to give it like a leaf or a bit of green effect. I love this green light. It's a beautiful lime green. Four greens is probably a little bit of an overkill, but I just like the way it blends, the same as the cushion covers had all those greens blending together. So this is green deep. Whoops, comes out a bit quick, a little bit thinner. Didn't check my consistencies beforehand, which you should always do. Do as I say, not as I do, as they say. And this is the Global Green Oxide. Quite almost a khaki sort of looking green, or something along those lines. And then last but not least, the Hooker's Green, which is a very dark green, just to get that bit of contrast. Oops, don't want too much of that, just a little bit down the middle. Right, so now in the middle I'm just going to use the blue that I've made up, and I'm going to do a spiral. And I'm going to take it all the way over the top of the green. And the same on this side. You'll see that even though I'm doing these very similar, they'll probably turn out quite different. But of course you never lay them down exactly the same, even though you're kind of doing the same thing. I want to take it all the way to the edges. Okay, so I pretty much got it all to the edges there. So now I'm going to take my paper towel. Actually, it's not paper towel, it's a serviette or a paper napkin, you might call it, in your part of the world. I'm just going to wet that down with a spray bottle. And that just helps it to actually lay flat when I lay that down. Just see there's some bubbles there, I'll just burst those. I just folded it in half. Now I'm going to find the halfway mark, or close enough to it. Open it out, gently pat down so you get all the air bubbles out. I usually try and press into the centre to get the centre piece there. Okay, now bring the two corners into the middle. As much to the middle as you can work out. And the other little corners come up as well. And then try and lift it in the centre. And here we go. I'll just leave that to sit for a second and I'll do the other one. Just spraying the serviette. Fold it in half. Oops, doesn't want to fold in half, wants to crease, and you don't want that big crease in there that I just got. I want it to be nice and flat. Okay, so again, approximately in the middle, as close as you can be. Opening it out. So it'll be interesting to see the difference in the two. Hopefully they'll be close. So just patting it down. Find the centre. Bring my edges together. And my other corners. And up. I could feel I was going a bit skewer on that one, but that's okay. So now I'm just going to find a centre piece. Do a little finger kiss there. This guy's got a nicer centre. And now I'm just going to spin this out a little bit. Actually, I'll hit it with the heat embossing tool first. This one's a lot prettier. It's got these little cells that have come up here, which are nice. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little spin, not a big one. Got to watch when you're spinning something that's not on the center of your turntable. It will cause it to run off unevenly, so just be aware of that if you're doing what I just did then. Now this one needs to come back to the center just a little bit, so we'll just lift it. Let it gently run back a bit. This one looks pretty much still centered actually. Maybe it can come back that way a tiny bit. Okay. So now for the fun part, I'm just going to do a little bit of modification. I always get those words mixed up. With my meat skewer. So it's just a bamboo skewer. I'm just using the flat end, so it's a very thin one, this one. So I'm first of all going to just do some little wrecking lines through the leaves on the corners. Well, unfortunately, my camera decided to stop recording towards the end of me doing these, and so I didn't get to show you the finishing of them. But basically, I've just done a wreck through the corners with the meat skewer, and then I've just drawn in the shape of petals just with the meat skewer, as you can see, coming around and down, and then did a little spiral in the end. My favourite's probably this one here. It's got some really pretty little pieces there, and in the centre I just did my usual little finger pop. So that was basically it. So hopefully you enjoyed that one today, guys. As you can see, some really pretty effects on that, doing the reverse dip and then just doing a little bit of modification, and this one too. So two very, very pretty little coasters to go with my new pillow covers, my new cushion covers. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that one today, everyone, and I'll see you back here in Studio 33 in the not too distant future. Until then, stay safe. Bye bye.